Tony Braxton, another sad love song. I'm going to pose a serious question to you. Now, we know that we have a spate of school shootings. We know that other countries have had 1, 2, 3, 4. America has had 213 school shootings. I would say that constitutes a crisis. I would say that is the people who are perpetrating these crimes would be called a menace to society. Let me ask you an honest question. If it were anybody else besides disenfranchised white guys doing this, would America's reaction be the same? Do you imagine that America would let a black guy or an Asian guy or a Muslim guy walk around in a trench coat in 90-degree weather and nobody said anything about it? Do you, like, if we're talking about Parkland, Florida, do you think that they would let anybody else other than a disenfranchised white guy walk around and be talked to the FBI about 30 times and everybody suspected that this guy was in fact going to be a mass shooter? Do you think that would happen? Let me ask you something. Why is barbecuing, black people barbecuing, or going to Airbnb, or being in Starbucks, or Nordstrom's Rack, or Applebee's, or taking a nap suspicious, but a white dude in a trench coat in 90-degree weather ain't? Why is that? Let me tell you something. If you see something, say something, doesn't mean just us. I guarantee you, if it were anybody other than disenfranchised white guys, and let me tell you something, white dudes who can't get laid kill more Americans than diabetes. Instead of being at the range, you should be working on your game. All that money you spend on guns, why don't you buy a hooker or something, get laid? But the problem is that when it looks like society, they have no incentive to do anything about it. If a certain makeup were committing a certain amount of crime, they write laws for that. That's why people are in jail. Stop and frisk was for a certain group of people they believe committed. They didn't mind violating their rights. They didn't care what they did because it was to affect crime. America's being besieged. Our schools are being terrified right now. As high school students, are they worried about being shot? Why is that? Because they're worried about somebody shooting that school up. And who is it? Disenfranchised one guy. Where is profiling when you need it? Where's profiling when you need it? How about this? If a black guy walked around in a trench coat, I don't care, in January in Chicago long enough, they would call him in and talk to him. That dude who shot up Orlando, killed those people, they arrested his wife because they said she should have knew about it. Your parents, if your kids shoot those schools up, not only should we talk to them, we should talk to you. If they get those guns, you should go to jail too. The problem is that the people who are perpetrating the crime, the people who are a menace to society, are white guys. They look like your neighbors and your nephews, but they are terrorizing America. They are nothing more than terrorists. And you have no incentive to do anything about it because the person, the menace to society, is you. The reason America is not motivated to do anything, let me honestly answer this question for me. If it were anybody else other than white guys, would they act the same way? They wouldn't just have moments of prayer. They would they would turn over communities. They would haul people in by the busloads. They would arrest people out now. They stop and they do whatever they had to do to put a lid on it. But they won't do that now because the enemy, the victim, the terrorist is them. It's them. And their access to guns, their hatred, their inability to fit into society, their belief that somebody owes them something. They are, in essence, a menace to society. Whenever you see, if you see a young white kid on the internet who got a shirt that says "Born to Kill," if you see a kid who's holding guns and loving Hitler, talk to him, just like you do us. The problem in America is we ain't treating the people like you would treat us. You want to stop this spate of school shootings? You want to stop people, your children being afraid? Treat them like you would us. Treat them like they was niggas. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.